Aren't Asians all alike? So who is this podcast for? Well, if you're a business professional and you're serious about your future and want to be sustainable, then you might want to tune in. If you're an individual that believes that America has a couple of problems here and there, and you want to be part of the solution, then yes, I can help you. So what is this podcast about? What is the format and what is in it for you? Let's talk about it. The question is, aren't Asians all alike? Don't answer that. Not yet. I'm here to help you come to your own conclusion by sharing with you stories that you're not privy to help you get a bigger picture of Asian Americans. My name is Jolene Jang, and I am ethnically Japanese, Chinese, and Swedish, and I am culturally Japanese American. I am broadcasting from Seattle, and I'm a middle-aged, cis-gendered, non-disabled female in Seattle with long, dark brown hair, and it is not dyed, it is natural. I speak about 150 to 180 words per minute, depending on the topic. And I tell you this because I want this to be a good experience for you. So look at your podcast player, and many of them you can play up to 2 speed, double speed, and some like Spotify can go up to 3.5 speed, or you can slow it down as well. And if you want the visual version on YouTube and Spotify, you can get video. And on my website, jolenejang.com, you can get the transcript and the show notes and links. By giving you a window into the minds of Americans of Asian descent, I want to help you understand this ginormous category of people that are all lumped into one group. It is likely that you do know a few Asian Americans, whether they're your neighbors, your coworkers, maybe maybe a family member as well, but that doesn't mean that they're sharing with you. They're likely keeping their feelings under wraps because that's part of the culture. And it's not a place where people want to hear from us either. So I'm trying to change that. So when I am speaking with corporate folks, I talk about Netflix, the miniseries called Beef. It's with Ali Wong and Stephen Yun. I think it's a very accurate depiction of Asian Americans repressing their feelings, smiling on the outside, but screaming on the inside, and just, and Ali Wong does a beautiful job of that. And what happens when you stuff those feelings down all the time? Well, guess what? There is going to be an explosion and bad things are going to happen. And I want to be able to share with business professionals and just average folks why this happens and what you can do as a citizen to create an environment where people, even Asian Americans, can feel like they can be themselves. And even though what I talk about is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander culture, what you learn here can apply to all the different marginalized groups, because we just want to be individuals and not grouped in. You know how Seinfeld talks about the everyday mundane situations? I will take you through some of these everyday situations that you didn't look at and didn't see in that way. So I'll give you a pair of lenses to be able to see from at least this Asian American. For example, I was at Target the other day, and I was very excited. Now, I don't go out that much, and not to Target either. And so I was looking, you know how old people do their mall walking? Well, I do Costco walking usually because I love Costco. But I'm walking in and I'm looking around at the walls, and there are people of color on them. Yeah. What? Are you kidding me? And there were even plus size models, and there were even Asian Americans. I took pictures of the pictures, and I told my boyfriend, look, Asian, plus size. It was very exciting for me because it gives me hope. And is Target just being kind and they're being good, a good neighbor and inclusive? Well, that may be the case, but they are getting money. This is a business decision, a good, solid business decision, because the world and the US definitely is getting more diverse. And if you want all these pieces of pies, which are not white, then you need to show that. I'm in Seattle and in Bellevue, which is on the east side, and that's where Microsoft and all the tech companies are. It is over 50% of people of color. And when I mean that, I mean Asian. I mean Chinese and South Asian, meaning Indian. when you go to Bell Square, there's like 15 bubble tea places just in the mall. It is like mostly all Asian. And I was walking past Lululemon and REI and another outdoor store, I stepped in and I saw, oh, look at that. Look at on the wall over there, Asian. And then look, Asian employee. What? And if you look, oh, there's actually some Asian American customers too. It all works. Bellevue Square is understanding this is an economic decision to include Asians. So I talk a lot about that when I'm speaking to companies. What topics will I cover in my podcast? Well, it will be Asian Americans in the workplace, how Asian Americans fit into this umbrella of diversity, and learning about Asian American history and how it affects today, and Stop Asian Hate, also current events and how Asians are targeted and attacked. My background is the fun specialist and team building, and I'm rather fun. And so I will make a number of these episodes that are a little bit like Sesame Street or a news program where there are segments. So you are sure to walk away with one piece of information that you can share at the water cooler or on social media to say, did you know? For example, one of the segments will be expressions of hate. So people are really creative, got to give that to them. For example, like an Asian goes to a fast food place, goes through the drive-through, and then the receipt says ching chong. We'll talk about culture bites, so you can learn about the many different Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders culture. For example, New Year's, January 1st, is a big deal to Japanese. And also lots of factoids. Did you know that Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world? What? And we also need to celebrate. Little things mean a lot. And talking about those victories, there is a new Hmong museum. I'm sure that is the first of its kind in America. And Asian Allies Spotlight. How do we make progress? Well, with the help of Asian allies. For example, we'll be hearing from Star Wars podcaster Joey, who was able to shed light on Stop Asian Hate, pull that into his primarily white male audience. So that is really helpful. And of course, terms of the day like coconut, banana, and Oreo. And with my background as the fun specialist, I will gamify some of the episodes here and there for the competitive listeners. It won't just be my voice on the airwaves. I chat with Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and you'll also meet Asian allies and discover why they decided to acknowledge the individuals in this huge category, because there's a specific reason that brought them to be more inclusive. On occasion, we will also hear Black and Asian perspectives. And you'll get to hear Kevin and myself, who's Black, different views on a particular topic, a lot of the current events. Kevin, Henry, and I do a lot of presentations around race and conflict. So the goal here, what is it? It's to ponder, to reflect, to make smarter, informed choices, both home, socially, and at work. Here is my wishful thinking. After tuning in to Aren't Asians All Alike, that you'll deepen your understanding of this complex Asian American experience and experiences, because there's many of us out there, and to recognize your power, and that these small actions that you can take, just daily action, can make a big difference. And to give yourself, I really want to nudge you to do something, to take action, to speak up, and to look through different lenses, and to be able to spot things that you haven't seen before, and to become that Asian ally, an ally for many other marginalized groups as well, and to really get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and remembering to celebrate the tiny wins. I think that's how we survive and continue to go on with those tiny wins. So if you are a business professional who wants to be sustainable and you want to be that community person who makes more inclusive spaces, then continue to listen. There's a variety that you'll hear here. And the stories from the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders, and you will meet Asian allies and what they're doing, what you can do. And I think most importantly is to learn about how Asians are not all alike. My name is Jolene Jang, and I can be found at jolenejang.com. And if you want a subscription, show notes, links, more in-depth information on anything that I've talked about, you can find me, I would say, primarily on my website, but also my other socials and on Patreon as well.